Hello, 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 friends, and welcome back to another installment of Book Reviews. This time we're touching on another gay novel. This one is Chasing the Green Man, Naked Gay Camping, Book 2 by Cody Blackheart. And full transparency, this cover, and I don't normally judge books by it, does not do the book justice. This cover, I would say, and I hate to say it, is more interesting than the book itself. So let's get into it because I have a lot of shit to say, and I'm sorry if I offend anyone or offend the author. But let's get into it. So as we will go through our normal, progress, I didn't touch on the characters because they're basic, and I didn't feel like I could say much about them. So moving ahead, we're going to touch about the story and the story overview, if you will. I'm going to be spoiling some stuff, but not everything, because I can't describe every sex scene that they have in this book. So the story overview, though, is Connor returns home to handle the sale of his familial home and pack up a few childhood memorabilia. This is where he then reunites with the Green Man. It's a plastic action figure that held his attention as a child and a teen that he felt a sort of supernatural connection to that would, like, kind of invade his thoughts in a way that was, consensual, obviously, but, like, one that was, consuming his thoughts in a healthy way, and if you will, and that kind of helped him figure out his own sexuality. So kudos for that. But while he's there, he then meets Trip, who is going to a gay nudist campground for a long extended weekend, and invites Connor, a complete stranger. They arrive at the nudist campground, realizing they're going to be roughing it a bit more than they thought they would, because they're going to be camping near the lake, and the showers are about a, some odd mile hike to and fro, and then a supernatural entity shows up and seems to be determined to kind of fuck with them and get them away from the Green Man. So yeah, that's all I have to write for the plot, because it's just a lot of sex, and I don't normally hate that. It's like, how many pages is it? 280-ish pages, or 280-ish pages of sex, and it's not great. Like, I don't know how to describe it. I wanted more from this, and I don't know how to describe that in a story overview, because there's like random characters brought up and then don't get brought up again until much, much later, if at all. And like, the sex is fine, but it's just kind of there. Like, I wanted more. When I read this as like a supernatural book, it's how do I describe it? Where am I at? Hold on. I guess. Yeah, okay, so it's at the back cover. It says, it contains sensual scenes of camping exhibitionism, true. Public nudity, true. Flirtatious seduction, okay. Raunchy behavior, definitely a check on the raunchy behavior. Cheeky voyeurism, sure. And gay paranormal erotica. I wouldn't call it that. I wouldn't call it that, per se. And I'll touch on it maybe in the tropes. So let's go through that real quick. So obviously, we have strangers to lovers. I mean, that's how the book wants to present it at the end, that they're kind of like in love now, I guess. I don't know if they say it, but like, they continue having sex, and that's fine. But Connor and Trip don't really seem to scream this trip from the rooftop, but more of a subtle call from a busy room. Like, they're lovers in the sense that they're just like friends with benefits by the end of it. Like, good friends with great benefits, I guess. I don't know how to describe that. They do see meet new friends at the resort, and they team up, but it's really like focused on Connor and Trip. The extra characters are just kind of there to like spice things up a bit. But for like the supernatural shenanigans, I wanted so much more. Like, so much more I wanted from this. Like, the entity pursuing them, the what was it called? It's the coccubus. It's the succubus that's focused on dick. I wanted the coccubus to get involved. I wanted the coccubus to fucking corrupt them, The entity pursuing them deserved better, and I fully stand by that statement. They deserved fucking a story of their own. I wanted to be more done with that coccubus and also the Green Man. I was like expecting a title of Chasing the Green Man. I'm like, oh, we're getting into some pagan shit. I can fuck with that. I read, and you'll know I mention it, Where the Devil Says Goodnight. I love old gods. I love pagan shit, especially when it's gay pagan shit. This book did not deliver, and I'm sorry. Cody Blackheart, I wish you the best. I can't. I could not, and I won't. So, yeah. So, rankings. I'm going to take a sip of water because my throat is like, oh, you getting too loud, girl? So, going through the plots and stuff. Plots Characters, writing style, spicy scenes, and overall, we'll touch on all of them. So, starting off with plot, I gave it a 2 stars. This is hard for me. Because I wanted to like this. The cover sold me on this book. I was like, oh, it looks like the Green Man interpretation. I love Green Man interpretations. Like, I have a fucking poster of one on my wall. I'm like, I fucking love pagan shit, okay? Especially gay pagan shit. That's my bread and butter. So, the plot was fine. I like the familial returning to home after, like, family bullshit happens. I think a death in the family or the father died or something. I, again, read this on the camping trip or the convention trip, so I don't remember everything, but I did reread it fairly recently or skim through it for this video, but I swear I wanted more. Same thing for the characters. I'm sorry. The characters are like marginally better, and this is only because the Concubus is a fucking title. There's also a sexy minister, and I'm a big fan of like corrupting priests and stuff like that, you know. But overall, like too many characters for me to give a crap about. Like Connor and Chip, fine, whatever. I don't feel like they're really fleshed out other than the fact that they drink a lot, they fish for food, they have burgers, and like they're naked, sweaty, and like horny all the time. Like that's the best I can describe the characters here. I wanted more for the Concubus, you know. The writing style, I'm sorry, is a 2 star. I don't know if this was their decision or what. The font is decent, but there's just like swaths of times where it's just back and forth dialogue where it's like some so he continued, so and so keeps talking. There's like 4 or 5 lines that I'm like, who the fuck is talking at this point, you know? And like it's throughout the book. And they do pepper in some, like, you know, he said, she said stuff, but it's a lot of quote, dialogue. Like, literally, like, this one is, like 15, 16 lines of pure dialogue before I get to, like, I hesitated. Who the fuck hesitated at this point, you know? So, again, I don't want to be so negative. It's not bad. It's not objectively bad. But to me, it's by far my least favorite book that I've reviewed. By far. And then spicy scenes are marginally better. To be fair, I love the raunchy aspect. I love man funk. I love sweat. I love piss play. I love all that shit. This gave me all of it. I wanted more for the Concubus. I wanted more from the Concubus. I wanted somebody to get corrupted by the demon come, you know? Or fall prey to the demon and they live happily ever after. I would read the fuck out of that. Anyway, overall, though, I'm giving this 2.5 stars. I don't think it's as bad as a book that I still have not yet reviewed, but I've bitched about more than times than I can count. Psychopath Daddy, which I might review next. Or not, like, next after this one, but, like, next in the series of books that I will, A, need to reread and B, can review. So, I didn't like this one. I wish the Concubus and the Green Man got better. Like, the cover page made me believe one thing, and I'm sorry. Judging this book by the cover is inaccurate, because the cover is better than the book, and I'm sorry to say that. So, with that rant out of the way, let's talk about some recommendations that I think are better books. So, starting off with, we have a supernatural romance that actually involves you loving a demon, or the character loving a demon. We have Demon's Wish by Xenia Melzer. I'm guessing that's how you say it, Xenia Melzer. I don't know, I'll be butchering it, but you know, it's a slice of life bookstore romance where a human owns a bookstore or works in a bookstore, and a demon comes in looking for a manga, and they bond, and they fall in love, and they fuck. And I'm like, give me that. I'll sell my soul to that demon who wants to read manga. I'll read manga with him. But again, as I've touched on this throughout many videos recently, if you want a dark supernatural that actually involves a supernatural entity who doesn't get the shaft by the end of it, or I guess in this case, does get the shaft in a good way by the end of this, we have Where the Devil Says Goodnight by A.K.A. American. I fucking will die on this hill. This has broken me for supernatural romance in a dark way. I love this. If something ever comes close to this, I will be over the fucking moon, but it's going to be hard-pressed to find it. And I put this in a whole different category, just to touch on this a little bit more. K.A. American's Where the Devil Says Goodnight is like a supernatural romance through and through with like an eldritch deity, an old god, if you will, which is what I thought the Concubus would be at this point in this book. But it has such a nice world building. There's a slow burn aspect. The two love interests are obviously human. Then one of them gets kind of infested with this demon who wasn't supposed to be infested. It's great. I love it. It's gay pagan shit, and I'm a big fucking fan. Also, K.A. American is like one of my favorite authors at this point, so they can do no wrong in my book. but I do enjoy it. If I ever do find one that's, and I meant to say that as like a separate than like werewolf shifters or shifter romance, I fucking will jive for most shifter romances. There's been one that was just like, hey, let's introduce 10 characters out of left field, claiming the mate or whatever. I did a few weeks ago. That one was another one, but let's just move on. I want to be a little bit positive now. I want a big shout out for Potato Kingdom. I said that completely wrong. Potato Kingdom. They stream on Twitch under that username. You should definitely go drop them a follow. And yeah, I cannot do this without the support of you guys. I mean, I know I can and I have been, but trust me, having you guys support my dreams is like means a lot to me, and I appreciate you guys doing this. So if you do want to follow me on any of these socials, you can feel free to do so. I have a Twitch channel where I stream nightly on twitch.tv/sky. So if you want to see me playing random video games, usually I'll do themes like I just did all the Kingdom Hearts games. I'm on my last one right now. Or if I'll do Final Fantasy Fridays where I go through all the numbered Final Fantasy games from 1 to 16 now, I guess. If you want to follow me in my batshit ramblings, you can follow me on twitter.com/sky and as well. Or if you want to support me on Patreon, you can also do that. You can support me on patreon.com/sky. You'll get benefits like early access to these videos. They'll be posted every Wednesday. If I do anything extra, like some YouTube, like some Twitch tier lists or anything like that I stream on Twitch and I want to make into a YouTube video, you'll also get those a little bit earlier and stuff like that. You can also vote in polls on what books you want me to read. And at one tier, at the $15 tier, if you want, you can actually give me a book title and I will go buy it and read it and review it that month that you subscribe or pledge for. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy these books reviews that I do. I hope you enjoy your gay shit as you can. Happy Pride Month, if you will. And I'll see you guys next time for another book review. And stay gay out there, friends, and I'll see you around.